It's just the week of crowning champions in Vegas. It is your time. For the first time in their history, just 6 years after their inaugural season, the Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cup as they take down the Cinderella story Florida Panthers in 5 games, with the final score being 9-3 live from Las Vegas. Welcome back to SpadeSports, everyone. I'm Ashley Vanderberg, coming to you after an amazing NHL season that will culminate with a parade inside Sin City. Let's get a recap of Game 5 action from T-Mobile Arena. The Cup was in the building, and it was getting ready for an engagement with the Knights. Marchessault opened the scoring on an odd man rush at the 8:08 mark of the first period, besting Bobrovsky to put the Knights ahead 1-0. And that was just the beginning of the eventful evening for Vegas. Nick Hague made it 2-0 with his own goal, assisted by Eichel and Marchessault. Now Florida made it a game for a moment with a response as defenseman Aaron Ekblad put one past Adin Hill from deep on the assist from Nick Cousins. That cut the league to 1, but it was a fill-the-net party for Vegas in the second. Alec Martinez with a goal made it 3-1. Riley Smith made it 4-1. The captain Marchessault added his second of the night to make it 5-1. An insult to injury to end the period as Michael Amadio beat the buzzer to worsen the beatdown of the Cats 6-1. The Panthers played without their leader this postseason, Matthew Tkachuk, after he was scratched due to an injury suffered at the end of Game 4 in Florida, and not only was he missed, but they might have needed even more help than that as the Knights coast. The final score 9-3. Jonathan Marchessault wins the Conn Smythe after how stellar he was all postseason long. Viva Las Vegas! The Knights are your new champs. We now bring in our AI analyst here at SpadeSports, Maurice Walker. Mo, you saw it with the Nuggets just yesterday, triumphing over the Heat, and South Florida goes down to the West again, this time in the NHL. Just how did the Golden Knights make sure the Cup came back to the desert?
Lindsey, I don't mean any disrespect to the Florida Panthers when I say this. This was an unbelievable run throughout these playoffs. But last night, at least the Heat made it competitive for the folks back in South Florida. Tonight, the Cats lost all of their 9 lives. I'm sorry, last year we saw Vegas miss the postseason in a bit of a disappointment. They came back this year with vengeance, and they were determined. They didn't want to just take part. They wanted to take over, and they've done that. People thought Florida would be the more physical team in this series, but Vegas matched their physicality. They wouldn't allow themselves to get bullied. They were more disciplined. I'm not going to get into some of the missed calls from officials this series. The Knights just stayed out of the box more. It was 40-27 in penalties in this series, and that gave Vegas some power play opportunities, of which they were 31% on this series. My God. They shut down a Florida team tonight that just looked defeated and drained on the ice. And how about Jonathan Marchessault, the Conn Smythe winner? 13 goals and 12 assists throughout the playoffs. Just unbelievable.
And Mo, let's switch gears here and talk about the Cats. Last year, they were the President's Trophy winner, only to get absolutely demolished by their in-state rivals, the Lightning. This year, they only clinched a postseason spot on the very last day of the season. They were the final wildcard slot, and what do? Knock off the best regular season team in hockey history after being down 3. 1, go through the Leafs and go through the Canes to challenge for the Cup. What can we expect from Florida next year?
In all honesty, I have no clue what to expect next year from the Panthers. Like you said, Lindsey, last year they were the President's Trophy squad and one of the best offensive clubs in hockey history, just to get embarrassed by the Lightning in a second-round sweep. Then they make the playoff in the final hours of the regular season, and they make it to the Cup after coming back on that record-breaking Bruins team. The Panthers need to get off to a better start than they did this year. What I do know is Eastern Conference points, leader in All-Star Matthew Tkachuk, another Hart Trophy candidate level kind of guy, and Sasha Barkov when he's on. Bobrovsky was looking like he'd be the Conn Smythe before this series. He was a brick wall. They've got the pieces, and they've got Sunrise, Florida fired up again about hockey. I expect them to be competitive in the East again next season, and maybe it's them hoisting the Cup this time next year. But they've got to get rid of the highs and lows because they are flat out unpredictable. But what a damn run.
And last question, Mo. This is a Vegas Golden Knights franchise that only just had their inaugural season in 2017. That was only 6 years ago, and they've made the Cup twice. This time, unlike their first season, they win it. How did they make sure that this franchise was successful really from the outset, and what does this success story do for the league?
The city of Vegas by 2017 was long overdue for a professional sports franchise. It was seen as an unstable sports market and only a tourist city. The NHL took the chance first, and they were a genius for it. They prove sports as a whole can work there, and especially hockey in, let's face it, a non-traditional market like they have before in places like Tampa and Nashville and Dallas and others. Let's talk about ownership with Bill Foley. He's passionate about his team on the ice and was motivated from the jump. He said, I want a Stanley Cup here within the first 6 years. He damn near got one in the first year before they fell short to the Capitals, but he did it. They built this team right. They got the right tools. They kept pieces of the core that were right, like Stone and Carlson, and added pieces to make the squad better in other areas like Pietrangelo and the Eichel blockbuster from last year, among others. Bruce Cassidy was the right man for the job here. This is an expansion success story for the league that it can work and can work in non-traditional hockey markets when you tap into a good size market with passionate ownership and a group of guys who want to be competitive from the jump. With expansion rumors floating around the NHL this year, and we've all heard them, you got to think there may be just a few more markets if the league decides to do it where they can find this same success as well. We'll see.
He's the man here, and for all your hard work already here, you ought to go party with the Knights out there in Vegas. Hit a casino or something.
Oh, I ain't no stranger to turning up, and we know what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I might just have to stay with Eichel and Stone and these boys because this place is going to be a party like never before. It's Vegas, baby.
Heck yeah. Mo, we appreciate your time, and that does it for us here at Spade Sports as the Golden Knights win their first Stanley Cup in their 6th season as a franchise in a Game 5 win, 9-3. For more sports news and coverage from around the world of sports, subscribe to and follow us here at SpadeSports AI. I'm Lindsey Vanderberg.